Hello, I am here to do another pregnancy vlog. I know I just did one, but I have a little story to tell, so I'm going to do another one. I was 23 weeks on Thursday, and I had a doctor's appointment. Everything was great. It literally lasted 3 minutes. He said to me, you know, how's it going? And I said, okay, you're not gonna believe this, but for once, I don't have anything to complain about. Hallelujah. Great, heartbeat, good, done, check, out. So I left. I did have to schedule my next appointment, which is in 4 weeks, and I will do the glucose, where you have to drink the drink test. Ugh. So I have to do that next. But anyway, I spoke too soon with the everything was fine. All right, on a side note, so I know I've said this before, but just to reiterate, my children are, my son will be 13 in February, my daughter will be 11 in November, and then I have this babe. So I'm sure it's a combination of, I was just pregnant so long ago that I don't really remember it. Also, I'm sure my age has something to do with it. Different father, my doctor says, like different sperm has something to do with it too, like makes a pregnancy different. So I'm sure it's a combination of all of those things, but I don't really remember having any issues with my other 2 kids. Other than I gained a crap load of weight, I think I gained like 60, 65 pounds with both kids. Yes. Now, I also like retain a lot of fluid when I'm pregnant. So when I left the hospital, I had lost quite a bit of weight with both kids. I don't remember now, but just a lot of it like was fluid too, but not 65 pounds worth of fluid. Okay, so I remember that and like getting swollen, but I don't, other than that, remember having any other issues. So this pregnancy is like a whole new ball game. I don't ever remember calling the doctor, you know, to ask him questions other than if I had an appointment. So Saturday, what day is it today? Or was it Thursday night? Because I had no point. Anyway, who cares? Okay, so this weekend, a couple of times, I wouldn't be doing anything crazy. When I finally ended up calling the nurse, I was unloading groceries, like just putting them away. I had a gush of fluid, like to where I needed to change my leggings, fluid. So I'm like, okay, did I, like, I don't think I peed my pants. Like I did, it was a lot. Anyway, let me save you some of the gory details. It didn't smell like pee. If you're pregnant or if you've been pregnant, they tell you, you know, check to see if it's urine, if it smells sweeter, it could be amniotic fluid, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, it didn't smell like pee. It was enough to make me change my leggings. It happened multiple times. Like, okay. So I messaged one of my friends and clients who's a nurse. She was asking me a bunch of questions. She's like, listen, you might as well just go in just to be safe. Okay, so I call, and then she's like, call your doctor. So I called the doctor's office, you know, they're not open. Clearly it was a Saturday, like at 1 in the afternoon. So I called OSF, which is a hospital in Peoria. So I called OSF, talked to the on-call nurse and OB or whatever she's called. She asked me a bunch of questions. She's like, listen, based on all of your answers, I think you just need to come in to be checked. Okay, great, not a problem. So I am about 50 minutes away from this hospital where I live. So I think that kind of made everything just a little more, not intense, because I really wasn't worried. It's just adds a whole new, like, as opposed to just running across town to the doctor's office, I have to actually like go to a different city. So that makes it a little more, So I had to call my dad. My dad had to drive 35 minutes from my parents' house to come watch the kids. My husband was checking on cattle somewhere else. All right. So I head by myself at 1:30 to Peoria. Get to Peoria. They were amazing. Nurses were great. Checked me in. You know me. I'm like, okay, seriously, like, I don't think it's pee. Oh my God, it's probably gonna be pee, and I'm here and I'm wasting your time. And they're like, oh my God, stop. Like, this is so normal. You're better safe than sorry, you know, whatever. So first they hook me up to the Doppler to check for little babe's heartbeat, and I'm laying flat and she can't find it. And I can tell the nurse is kind of like, just her face. So then she said, okay, why don't you try just rolling on your side? So I rolled on my side. As soon as I was on my side, it's like, there she is. Okay, great. So everything seems good, okay with her. So then I had to have an exam and they have to swab you and so they're going to check to see if it's amniotic fluid. So one of the doctors came in, or like a resident, and she said, you know, it's probably just urine. Like your cervix looks great. Everything's closed. I don't see any amniotic fluid, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, good. Okay. So meanwhile, my mother-in-law gets here, and actually for this, like, in case you're wondering, like, they actually take you to a room. Like, I thought maybe I would just walk in, maybe go in the bathroom, they'd do a little swabby, and then we'd be, no. I mean, I had to derobe, put on the gown, get in the hospital bed, get hooked up to this, blah, 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 blah. The whole time I'm like, oh my God, like, okay, oh my God. Okay, so, like I said, doctor's like, it's probably just urine, you know, this is so common, da-da-da-da. Comes in with the ultrasound machine. Is that a sonogram? What's the difference between a sonogram and an ultrasound? Is it the same thing? Is one of it like the technology that you're using and the other is the, I need to look that up. Anyway, I had one of those. Instantly saw the little babes. She was kicking like crazy. She looked like an Irish dancer. She's like doing this and her feet are, and so the doctor said, I can't believe how much she's moving around. I'm like, I know. So then she showed me my amniotic fluid. She's like, this is all fluid. Like, you've got plenty of fluid. Plenty of fluid. There's nothing to be concerned about. I'm sure it was urine. So I said, okay, so side note, OSF is like a teaching hospital. So then there's, you know, like medical students that are there too. So there are probably 4 people in the room at this point. And I'm like, so what you're telling me is I pissed my pants? Yep. Yeah, you did. Like, at that moment, or at least I just felt like, are you flipping kidding me? Like, how did I not know that I had just pissed myself, that it wasn't something to be concerned about? So she showed me my little babes is directly on top of my bladder. It's like baby, uterus or whatever, bladder. So she said, your bladder is completely full right now. I'm like, well, see, I just peed like literally 22 minutes ago before I got here. She goes, well, you might have to start peeing a little sooner. What? So she said that the babes must have kicked me just right or moved just right, where instead of like feeling like you have to go pee, she must have just positioned herself where I just... So I got back to my parents. My dad missed hunting, willingly missed hunting because, you know, he wanted to make sure I was okay. But I'm like, well, you missed hunting because I pissed myself, Dad. Everything's okay. So anyway, that's my little pregnancy update. No need to worry. Again, you know, I'm on all these pregnancy sites and whatever. I always feel like even if you think it's the stupidest thing, call the doctor, go to the doctor, better safe than sorry. But I will say this time, like when I had my miscarriage and I saw like a little bit of the brown blood, I just had this wave, like this horrible feeling come over me. This time, I didn't have that feeling, but I just thought so much that I didn't think it was pee that I better call. Turns out it was pee. So when you're pregnant, you may piss your pants and you may go to the doctor and they might confirm you just piss yourself and there's nothing to worry about. Okay. All right. That's my story. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.